What if everything you rush to do doesn't matter? Stop. Just stop for a second. Are you really living your life or just rushing around? Slow living encourages you to take a closer look at your life and ask yourself what makes you happy, what you spend your time on, and what you have been neglecting without realizing it. You don't have to live in the countryside, meditate every morning, or give up everything to have a perfect life. This means doing everything at the right speed. Instead of trying to do things faster, the slow movement focuses on doing things better. Slow living means stepping out of autopilot and making choices with awareness. It's the shift from reacting to life to consciously shaping it. When you align your pace with your values, time stops feeling like an enemy and becomes a space where presence, clarity, and meaning can grow. If that makes sense to you, here are 6 real reasons to start living a slower, more intentional life. One of the best things about this journey is that you don't have to spend all your time trying to live other people's lives. Think about it. How often do we worry about our neighbor's car, someone we know's bigger house, or the latest must-have gadget? This way of always comparing things traps us in a kind of invisible prison. We work harder, spend more, and the result is an endless cycle of stress and often debt, all for something that doesn't make us happy. Living simply is like taking a deep breath and letting go of that pressure. You start to appreciate what you have, and you realize that being happy isn't about having more. It's about feeling content. This change lets you do a job that makes you happy, not just a job that pays well. Your home is no longer just a place to store things you buy on a whim. It becomes a place where you can display the things that are important to you. It shows you how to find your own idea of a good life without worrying about what other people think. If you live life at high speed, you might think that if you run fast enough, you will eventually achieve the life you imagine. But in reality, time goes by and you feel more tired, more distracted, and more distant from yourself. If you slow down, you don't actually gain more hours. What changes is your perception of them. Neuroscience shows that when we live on autopilot, our brain compresses time, making days feel shorter and less memorable. That's why busy weeks often blur together. But when we slow down and engage fully with the present, the brain registers more detail, and time feels expanded. Hours stop being a checklist of tasks and become a landscape you can move through with awareness. This creates space not only for thought and feeling, but also for memory, for choice, and for a deeper connection with your own life. There's something special that happens in that space. You start to hear your own thoughts. It's not easy, because sometimes you hear silence or a tiredness that has been pushed aside for years. But it is in this silence that we make conscious choices, when our minds stop racing and the suffering of feeling overwhelmed starts to fade. Living more calmly means not letting time dictate who you are. It is taking charge, even when things are not perfect, and choosing to be, instead of just going through life. What strengthens our closest bonds is not the hours we spend together, but how present we are in those hours. A moment of undivided attention often speaks louder than endless time shared half-heartedly. Science tells us that the quality of our attention matters more than how much time we spend with others. Being fully present, listening without distraction, responding with openness builds trust, lowers stress, and deepens intimacy. Strong relationships aren't just emotionally fulfilling, they are health-promoting. Social bonds with depth help reduce risk for depression, support recovery from stressful periods, improve emotional regulation, and yes, they even correlate with longer, healthier lives. To nurture these deeper connections, we need less performance and more presence. Let conversations breathe. Allow shared silence. Choose to be attentive, not because there's something to fix, but simply because someone is there. These are the moments that quietly enrich your life far more than constant busyness ever could. A slower rhythm nurtures both body and mind. When we allow pauses in the day, the body's natural rest and restore mode has room to work, lowering stress hormones, strengthening immunity, and improving recovery. Living simply also reshapes the way we care for ourselves. To sit and enjoy a meal without rushing is to let digestion flow, and to bring back the quiet joy of eating. Moving at a natural pace, stepping outside, honoring the body's cycles. All of this restores sleep, steadies energy, and creates balance. In that balance, body and mind return to their natural rhythm. When you focus on one task at a time, your attention is deeper, your decisions are clearer, and the quality of your work improves. Multitasking and constant rushing fragment the mind, making it harder to solve problems or finish tasks efficiently. This clarity and calm also creates space for creativity. When the mind isn't scattered or under pressure, new ideas naturally arise. Reflection, observation, and quiet moments allow connections to form that would be missed in a hurry. In this way, slowing down doesn't just improve efficiency, it nurtures imagination, insight, and the ability to approach challenges in innovative ways. If you have more time for yourself, you can understand what you really want and need. It's a chance to put yourself back on the priority list and take care of your soul. It's not a way of living that looks good on social media. It's just normal everyday life. Sometimes it's frustrating, but it's more real. It's starting to pay attention to what makes sense to you and making room for it, even if it's just a little, even if it fits and starts, even if the world doesn't understand. A calmer life is a good thing to aim for, but it takes effort. It's hard to go against the trend of always being busy and always consuming. Society often says that rest is a sign of laziness, but rest is actually very important. You don't have to become someone else to live a simpler life. Start small. Make your to-do list shorter. Set aside some time for yourself. Don't try doing too many things at once, and tidy your things up. You have the power to say no to things that don't help you. Be thankful for the small things and enjoy the peace and quiet. Every time you make a small daily choice to slow down, it all adds up. Eventually, you will find that your life becomes simpler and more full of joy. A life lived with intention feels lighter, fuller, and entirely your own.